Tell me about your dad. What's the story that you guys know?
He was a valet car parking attendant. When he was 16, he would be the first person there in the morning, and he would stay until the last person had left. This whole building was a hotel high-rise, and in the back where the apartments are for the employees was like a motel-style 2-floor building.
What does staying on the forefront truly mean?
I think a lot of it has to do with knowing the right people. It's so easy to spend $200,000 or $300,000 on a piece of equipment and really regret it later. But if you don't know the right people, you have to learn them the hard way. It doesn't matter how big you are, so long as all those cases are to the standard and they get to the doctor basically on time, then you'll be there the next day. And then you got to do that tomorrow, and then you'll be there the next day. Jeff, as much as I'd like to buy every piece of technology in the industry, I have to run it by our CFO, Shawn.
That's a smart thing to do. You're going to run it by the money guys.
I want you to meet Shawn. Yeah.
Okay, great.
He's our CFO.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. John?
Hey, Jeff.
How are you?
It's good. Good
nice
to see
to
you.
meet you. Nice to meet you. So I want to walk and talk with you. I want to walk
Sure.
and talk with you about being a CFO of a dental lab, because not many dental labs have a CFO.
That's true.
And Matt was mentioning he would love to buy every single bit of equipment out there to stay on the forefront of technology, but of course that comes with risk. How do you balance that?
So, we look at what happens with the equipment, what we're going to use the equipment for, and where's the reward in it. So we use, a normal return on investment. So I'll look at it and calculate whether or not this piece of equipment is going to do anything or recoup anything out of it. We don't want to buy a piece of equipment and just have it sit there. We can deploy that capital to other places, either people, other pieces of equipment, to where we're recouping something from it. We then also can help our customers produce better restorations for their customers. So Adam should be just over here on the floor.
All right.
So this is entering the removables area, which is Adam's domain.
There's a lot going on here.
There is a lot going on.
A lot of action.
It's always a lot. Hey, Adam. Jeff, this is Adam.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Nice to meet you. Thanks a lot. See you later. All right, so explain to me what happens here on the second floor. This is a busy part of the lab.
Yes, sir. So everything on the second floor, on the south end, is all removables. It starts with dentures, moves into thermo. You have both departments that have waxing, finishing, and setup.
What happens in this room?
So this is the processing room. Everything that gets waxed is invested, boiled out, and processed in here. They run about 180 units a day.
Oh my goodness. I mean, the smaller labs right now watching this video are blowing their mind able to handle that type of business. How do you maintain the quality and the consistency that Oral Arts is known for?
We have checkpoints throughout the process. So every cart that you see in here that has work associated with it is a checkpoint for quality control. We have lead technicians on every floor in every department that's responsible for checking the work as it moves through the department.
Okay.
So any issues are assessed during that process. It makes it very predictable on a daily basis to maintain the quality.
All right, so this is the third of 4 floors. What happens on this floor?
Okay, so on the third floor we have removable CAD/CAM, marketing, and ortho. Here's Martin and Mark Mathias.
Hey, Mark, how you doing, Mark?
Hey.
Nice to meet
Nice
you
to meet
guys.
you too.
Nice to meet you guys.
Mark runs our select department on the fixed side, and Martin runs removable CAD/CAM.
So we use digital to design. We use digital to create our models, to mark our margins, to make sure everything's really accurate and everything's a lot more predictable when you're doing it digital. And in my department, so we do high-end restorations. We actually use that technology, but still use the analog world, and we'll cut those design teeth back and then actually manually by hand build porcelain over it so we can customize it and make it as aesthetically possible as we can.
Fantastic. What's going on here?
We basically have metal powder on a bed that with 2 lasers, it gets coated the whole time with a thin layer of powder, and with 2 lasers it actually melts little particles together to create a complete frame. So we can do different frames. We can do basic chrome cobalt frames, we can do hybrids, anything that we can design, we can print on this.
All right, so I made it to the 4th floor. I'm telling you, this place, it's like a city.
Hey,
how you doing?
nice to see you.
Nice to see you guys.
Good
Nice to see you guys.
Too.
All right, so explain to me what happens here on the 4th floor.
On 4th floor is all of our digital as well as our implant department.
Okay.
And it all starts with iOS, and Ricky is our iOS supervisor.
Okay,
and
sounds
I'd like
good.
to get him to take you around and show you.
Perfect. I'm gonna meet back up with you in a sec.
Absolutely.
All right, so explain to me, Ricky, the whole process starting with iOS.
Great. So basically, a doctor now, instead of taking a traditional impression, they are able to scan your mouth with a scanner,
Yeah.
send us the STL file. So we get it, and guess what? Pan's empty. So the technicians that are working on these cases, as you can see here, when they pull them up on screen, we have a 3D image of that patient's mouth. We're checking for bites, we're checking to make sure the margin's good, all of the above. So this is kind of the first step in the whole process, is making that crown. We'll come over here. We currently have about 15 3D printers, and the ones that we mainly use are Rapid Shape 3D printers. We also have our Haygears 4K printers,
Okay.
and then we also use EnvisionTech printers. So
Got it.
these are the 3 monster printers that we're using. So you can see the STL files have been converted into a 3D platform.
Yeah.
And what they have done, using our resin, we light cure from the bottom, so the platform drops down, but it cures on a layer system. So once it's fully cured, it alerts us, lets us know, and we can take these models right off the printer. We're gonna toss you off over here to Alan. He's gonna
Okay.
show you the rest of the ropes.
Perfect.
And I'll leave you with that. Jeff, it was good meeting you.
You too.
Hey, do you roller skate?
I do. What is it about Alabama and roller skating?
Good job.
Appreciate it, boss.
I do like roller skating. Alan,
right,
I don't know
buddy.
what's going on. Thanks, Ricky.
Thanks.
Well, let's
See you,
continue
Jeff.
on with the workflow. And
Okay.
You toured iOS and the models being printed. Well, when the models are printed, and any other models we get, they come through our scan department, which creates the files, of course,
Yep.
to have the crowns digitally designed, which flows right into our digital design department. And the crowns are all
Okay.
digitally designed here. Once the files are designed and they're sent to our nesting area where we nest the crowns, ready to mill, and they go right into our milling room.
Right into the milling center here.
Exactly.
Wow.
So these mills run pretty much continuously, 5 days a week.
24/7, 5 days a week.
We divest in this room.
Okay.
We start divesting and investing. We invest Emax over zirconia
Okay.
after the milled. But as the crowns have come off the pucks, we bring them in here and take them off the pucks and get them ready to go into the sintering ovens, which, as the workflow would go, is right next door. And we have in our pressing room where we do all the pressables after they're invested, and all the centering of the zirconia is done in here as well. So everything has its own flow to it.
Well, this is fantastic. I appreciate you showing me this.
You're very welcome. So you guys need to head over to the event center. We have
The
a little
event
something planned for you.
Oh, really?
Miss Lacey Shaw will take you over there.
Sounds good. I love surprises. You have got to be kidding me. Lacey,
Hey, Jeff.
what is going on here?
I know. Can you believe this?
Tell me about this. Why, how, what? Give me the story.
So, a dental lab with a skating rink, right?
I know, never happened before in my life.
So, our owner, Thomas Winstead, bought this a couple years ago as a corporate event center for our employees, a place to have events and come and have employee appreciation and Christmas parties and that kind of thing.
Fantastic. It's right across the street and in the parking lot adjacent to it. It works out great.
Absolutely, yeah. And it's also a great overflow parking lot.
So you're the marketing manager. You handle all the social media. Your numbers are pretty darn good. Tell me about social media and how it's helped the business.
Absolutely. So it is definitely our number one way to communicate different things to our customers. And it's been interesting, especially in the year of COVID, because it went from B2B, where we actually interact with a lot of people who are going into the dentist and asking to use Oral Arts as well.
Yeah. I mean, I see how much you guys interact with the consumers through social media. I mean, whether it's LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram. Is that all you?
We have a team, so we have a large marketing team. We each have our our own responsibility, but we work really well as a team.
When you have a marketing platform like you guys have with this,
Absolutely.
come on, you can't lose.
I know.
I gotta get on the rink. I mean, you got skee ball, you've got basketball, you've got pool. This is great.
Well, can I challenge you to some skee ball and skating? Challenge.
Is the sky blue? Let's do it.
Got your skates for you.
All right, let's do it. I'm just going for the 100. Does it make you
Probably
nervous,
gonna
does
miss.
it? What do you get?
Oh, I got it.
Guys, I gotta tell you, I've been all over the country. I've met so many dental professionals, and I have never gone roller skating on property, a property they own, an event center like that. I mean, come on. It's so impressive with the apartments you have here on site for the employees to stay here, the facility, and everybody here that runs your departments. It's extremely impressive. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jeff. Glad to have you.
Thank you so much.
I'm gonna come back and go roller skating.
Yes,
Play some more
sounds
basketball, some skee ball.
Bye.
Yeah. Wow, what a ride that was. Well, there you go. Another episode in the books, and it's one for the books. See you next time. So true abutment has really become a huge part of so many companies all over the country, all over the world, especially here at Oral Art. And a big reason for that is Brian Powers. He's the fixed implant manager. Brian, how are you?
How are you, sir?
Oh, doing fantastic. Here on the 4th floor of the building, explain to me what happens here on your side, on your watch.
This portion of the lab is somewhat a lab within a lab. We start from model work. We do our own purchasing here. We do our own customer service, all the way through abutment design, abutment milling. We do hybrids. We do our contour work. We do our glazing, and we do our QC up here.
Talk to me about how you utilize true abutment here on this floor.
True abutment we use for the majority of our tie bases. I really like the retention on the true abutment tie bases compared to other companies I've used. We also send a lot of abutments to true abutment for custom abutments, including angled custom abutments, and then custom multi-unit abutments and custom locators.
So there's a lot of people out there that are the reason why true abutment gets introduced into their lab. You're the reason here at Oral Arts. How did that relationship start?
So Peter and I made contact at a bunch of the dental meetings, specifically Chicago. You know, I had seen his booth all of the time, and he would tell me about some of the new solutions that he had. He started offering some things that when I came back to the lab, they were relevant to the cases that I was doing. So we started, you know, with some simple cases that evolved into some very, very difficult cases that we've solved a lot of problems for a lot of people. It's been very beneficial to a lot of the patients that we service and a lot of the providers that we service.
With true abutment, you know, it's a great solution for so many dentists out there, but there's other options. Why do you continue to use true abutment?
True abutment's been very service oriented. I never get a no or we don't do that when we ask for ways to solve problems. Generally, we always get through it one way or another. We end up with a lot of cases that most people will not attempt for various different reasons. A lot of them are not cost effective, and there are people that need the help that just don't get it, that get passed on from doctor to doctor to technician, and we've been able to solve a lot of those issues down the line.